Zenscape.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Zenscape. My name is Sean and today we are interviewing Thio, who is a veteran of over 20 years in the aquarium industry. So let's dive in. Yeah, hi Thio.
Hey, hi,
Hi.
Sean. Thank you for coming today.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
for allowing us the time to just chat today. Maybe you could share a little bit about your background. How did you get into aquascaping or aquariums? And I understand you've been in the industry for a while. So how did that all come about?
Okay, well, I've always been a hobby when I was young. I love to keep fish when I was young. So I'm very intrigued by tanks. Then as I grew older, when I start to have some income, I start to make it to a more complete aquarium. And that was when in the year 2000 or late 1990s, where the flower horn was, the craze was going up and then dying down. I decided I want to do some planted aquariums. So during those time, there wasn't any information. So I have to go to the shops and rely on the shops. And I think those things parts were still quite expensive. Then, so I continued to search, but there wasn't much information. We don't have Google, we don't have whatever that we have today. And I was quite lucky. The forums came, and I became to get engaged with the forums. And I tried. Like any other hobbies, I had lots of water issues, I have a lot of fish issues, I had a lot of plant issues, and I didn't know what to do. So I did a lot of experiment. Hopefully it might work. It does help me a little bit. So that was how my hobby became more serious. So it came a point one day, a very good friend of mine, he had an aquarium shop, and he had a job, and he said, Thio, I had a shop, it's a planted aquarium. It was very niche then, not many people do that. So he said he's been posted overseas, he had a new job. So he asked me, would you be interested to take over this shop? I jumped into the
opportunity.
Yeah. I said, okay, let's do it without having an idea. I only know how to keep a tank clean. Just like you and I, it's a hobby. It's a hobby's tank, not a business tank. So I tried. I said, okay, let's try. I jumped in it. He was with me for 2 months to show me what fish to keep, what equipment to buy, and how to manage the shop. So I tried, and I liked the idea. I was quite lucky. I managed to sustain the business. And along the way, I got to know about this product called ADA. And I like it. It gives me very good results. And the plants were great. The fish were nice. I continued selling that. So I became one of the shop that sells a lot of ADA products.
A distributor of the...
I was a retailer.
Okay, a retailer at the time.
I was selling, and I had a lot of tanks, and they were quite easy to work with. So I had that for a number of years. One day, ADA came knocking at my door. He says, hey, Mr. Thio, would you like to be a distributor?
Wow.
So I was like, from that retailer, next level of distributor. I said, okay. Again, not knowing what is the next level of uncertainty. I just went in and I did it. This time it's like you're like having your own warehouse of toys. Wow, everything. It was quite nice. So I started dabbling, selling, and distributing. That sustained for a while, and I realized that I cannot be having both. So I said, okay, maybe it's time to go full time on the distributor. And I did. It was quite good. I became that distributor for almost 10 years. Right until just before COVID came.
Right.
I was thinking then what else I could be doing. Just when I decide that I'm just doing some thinking, COVID came and everything stopped.
Rocked the boat, yes.
I had lost everything. But I stopped being a distributor. I'm really not doing the retailer anymore. So I was like, what to do? So I was just like anybody else, looking for something. And I chanced upon the Neon Polys, CET. They wanted to do a course.
What is CAT, CET?
CET is a continuing education training. They wanted to develop a course to teach people. And I spoke to the team, and the team says, Mr. Thio, you have some experience. I was already doing some courses training on my own. He says, would you like to collaborate with us and do something more structured? So we discussed, I gave him my content, and they say, hey, that works. Yeah, then there was until we started in early 2021. So we went on for almost 2 years. Soon I realized that, from the retailers, I upgraded to a wholesaler, and I don't think I want to go back to become a wholesaling, and training seems to fuel my passion. Because I realized that the more I talk, the more I share, the more satisfaction I get, because people are getting the information, and I feel good when somebody is successful with the tank. So so from then on, I became like a trainer. I guess this could be my next course. Yes.
So rewind a little bit back to when you were still a hobbyist and then going into the industry, right? What caused that transition for you to decide, you know what, I'm going to take it serious enough that it's going to be my profession, from a an amateur in a sense to a professional? Like, what triggered that flip?
I guess I'm just one of the hobbies, like most of us did. I want to have a beautiful tank. I think I might be able to make a little income out of my hobby. And I think that my hobbies should hopefully grant me some passive income. So I had that rough thinking, like most of our hobbies do. When you have something, a nice tank, you want to like bring your hobby to a next level. And I think, maybe I should try. I wasn't really thinking of really making it very big. I was like, hey, as a hobbyist, I was still a hobbyist as a retailer. It's just that sometimes, probably I was much younger and we think a bit more simple. When I'm a retailer, I could buy more stuff to expand my tank. Then that was just it. Yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't really have a lot of retail experience. It's all about try and error. So everything is about try and error. So I thought that was quite a difficult journey to be. And if I have a chance to speak to someone who says they want to run an aquarium, I think I would give them some advices on what to avoid, what you should look out for. And this was precisely what I'm doing right now at the training courses.
Okay, so
Yes.
you started as a hobbyist, and then you move on to a retailer, distributor, and now trainer.
Training, yes.
And that's what you're doing currently still.
Yes, this is what I'm doing, and I deep inside I'm still a hobby. And I still want to share my passion. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and throughout this whole thing, what motivates you and what gives you joy in the whole journey?
I think as a hobbyist, we want to have a tank that's successful.
Yeah.
We want a tank that's water is clean, and we want to make sure that my tank is presentable to friends. And I'm no different. I'm the hobby. But when I became a shop, you want to have sustainable income, which I try to do that, and I achieve what I achieve in every stage that I do. And every success or little success will fuel that passion to the next level, thinking that, hey, I could move more, let's move on. I think today, one of the greatest issues which I still face is that a lot of hobbies I speak to, I ask them, what do you think the aquarium industry is, especially in Singapore? They say, I think it's quiet. I say, what did you say is quiet? He says, because the shop owner tells me it's pretty quiet. And when I ask shop, what do you think of the market? He said, it's very sad. Now, I then share this common knowledge or my thought with people. I said, most of the time, the hobbyist thinks that if I go to the shop, he wants to earn my money. That's all the shop cares. And then the shop says, when the customer comes in, he wants to have the best deal from me. He wants to have the cheapest price from me. So the hobbies and the shop, they're always at the opposite sides of the equation. And I say, why can't you guys be on the same side? Like for example, I asked the shop owners, I said, if you start showing interest to your customers, you ask your customers what is their concern, understand their tank, understand their fish keeping hobby, a method, practice. Sometimes they just need a little tweaking. It could make them successful. And they like what you say, they like what you speak to them, they will come back. Because I say if you show interest to your customers, the customers will come back and want to buy things from you. So, which I think is quite good now. A lot of new shops, especially in Singapore, are hobby shops now. So the owners know fish keeping and they're more willing to share, which I think is something very, very useful.
Yep.
Yeah. So if as a shop, if you show interest to your customers will show interest to you. Business is always there. It's always there.
I understand.
Yeah.
And I understand you're also doing a bit of producing some of your own products.
Yes.
Is this in conjunction with the teaching? And also, where do you foresee it going forward from here?
Oh, okay. It's quite coincidental. After my distributorship, I was like looking for something, and I had some good friends overseas who are already producing products, and he says, Thio, since right now it's COVID, we are free, would you like to think about what you want to do next? And I said, it's not so easy after all this, and the COVID was like heading nowhere. So when the cost came, I thought I could merge it. So I said, okay, why don't I give some products to the learners and they use it, they will like it. And that was how my brand is born, the soil and the base. And today is still really more for supporting my courses. Yeah, because if I were to conduct a training course, I would need these products anyway. So I thought I just have my products to be used as a training kit, showing quite good results.
Okay.
And I've got a few shops showing interest. They buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can definitely put that in the description about the links to your stores and things like that.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, for our viewers, some of them may be thinking, you're over 20 years in the industry. Was there any lessons you learned or mistakes you made that you would like to share a bit of wisdom to our viewers?
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yes, of course.
Everybody.
If you don't mind sharing.
Of course. I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot. I actually put my hobby being into my business. So sometimes when you are hobbyist, you want the best. You want everything so perfect. And sometimes it might not be the case. Like for example, we will do a layout for a customer and the customers think that it's okay. But because we are so passionate about what you're doing, we say this is not right, this is not right. And we actually create barriers for ourselves in our growth. Even in the products that we sell, we want the best, and we think that sometimes we feel that it's right for the customers, which is not the case. So when I was a hobbyist, I think that every hobbyist thinks the same, which is not the case. So I actually, of course, lost some money buying some products which I thought is good for the hobby, but actually you don't have to. So I took a longer way to achieve what I finally achieved. So after a while, I realized that to be a business, we have to look after the margin. When there's a margin, then we can move on. Sometimes I just want the best. Expensive, pay for it, and sometimes it just don't work. Yeah.
Got it.
So in other words, probably I'm a bit more down to earth now. Age as well.
Right. That's so good. Thanks so much for sharing. I think is there any other last things you'd like to share with our audience?
Okay, I would like to probably have the same words when I speak to any hobbies. I said, if you go into the plant or the aquarium, this is there's always something that pulls you in. This is a bit of nature.
Yeah.
Because you need to think how nature reacts, and you have a lot to learn from how the plants interact with light, with fish. And if you are going to a planted aquarium, do not fear about the algae issues. They will always be there.
Yeah.
That is just part of your tank. Of course, if somebody really has issues, can give us a call or see how we can help you. Yeah.
Wow, so actually, this whole obsession about being algae free is actually a bit hyped up or exaggerated sometimes, maybe.
Yes, I do think so, because the broader picture is the aquarium.
Yeah.
The algae is just part of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see the algae and you don't see the tank anymore. So algae will come and go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and it's part of nature as well.
Yes.
And sometimes algae can actually look quite aesthetically pleasing.
Yes,
as
if
well.
you control them,
Yeah.
it looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's very important, I think. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you for allowing us into your office to just enjoy your works as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and also let us know in the comments if there's any other content you'd like to see, anything that really matters to you. We just want to put out content of value. Thank you guys.